Hey bitches, time to finally tell my dirty little secret. Back in 8th grade, I can't even lie, I was a fucking slut LMAO. My parents went out of town for the weekend and I slept with not one, not two, but three guys from a local high school in less than 12 hours. About 2 weeks later, I started feeling sick. I told my mom and she took me to the doctors. We then found out I was pregnant. I was questioned by my parents for hours. I didn't know who the dad was. My parents forced me to get an abortion because this would ruin their reputation. I agreed because I didn't want that little shit to stretch out my coochie even more than it already was. I am still a hoe for wondering, and I've learned how to do my own abortions from home.
Okay, so this story is in 6th grade. There was this very skinny boy who probably most likely came from a very bad home, but no one liked him because he always got in trouble and was crazy ASF. Everyone said that he was probably gonna kill people when he was older. I always had a decent relationship with him though, except for the time he jumped on my back and tackled me and tried to fight. But other than that, we were good buddies. I was nice to him and we always say at lunch together. I started to think he had a crush on me because he would always buy me a shit ton of cookies from the vending machine and give them all to me. Anyways, he started to think I was like his super best friend, I guess, because one day at lunch he told me that he had a knife in his backpack. I didn't think anything of it and I told him I didn't believe him. He said that he would show me in social studies. He was the only kid that got to bring his backpack into regular classes because he went to some special classes. He showed me in social studies the knife that he had slipped between two books. I got really scared. He told me if I told anyone that he would stab me and kill me. So I didn't say anything. He ended up not coming back from school because he told another girl and she told him he was planning on killing a girl that he didn't like. When I was 10, I would go on an app called Chattis that matched you with people nearby. I ended up talking to a guy who I thought was my age. I was literally the dumbest fucking kid possible and I didn't think twice about giving this random fucking stranger my address when he asked me for it. He stopped texting, so I went to bed. But the next day after school I got a slip that said I was going to be picked up by my dad. But I literally never met my goddamn dad, so I was confused. I went out to the parking lot and this guy came up to me and said he was my dad, and I looked this motherfucker right in the face and believed him with no proof. I hopped my happy ass into his car thinking I was going to have a fun day with him. My mom came to pick me up like normal and spotted my fat ass quickly. He got out of there so quick I still didn't realize what was happening. My mom called me on my phone and was like, "Where the fuck are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean I'm with my dad?" And he started screaming at me saying we were going to surprise my mom, so I hung up. He drove 2 hours from my school before they called. So one time I agreed to talk to this boy because I didn't want to hurt his feelings and I've known him for a long time, so I agreed to talk to him. But he always wanted to FaceTime every single night, but I hate FaceTiming people I don't like, so I would just make up excuses not to call him, but when I didn't I would just go on mute or say that something came up and I'd hang up. But it got out of hand when he started to call me his girlfriend to his friends and I was not about that, so I had to end it. But I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but he was so clingy and I hate clingy people. So I typed up a whole paragraph pretending to be my dad, saying that he doesn't want us to be boyfriend and girlfriend and he doesn't want us talking ever again and that I can't date until I am 21. Then I texted him after pretending I still wanted to be with him, but my dad wouldn't let me. But to be honest, the main reason I ended it with him was because I saw a picture he posted on his Snapchat story with him and his friends. And the one friend was really fine, so in reality I stopped talking to him because I wanted his friend. In the 3rd grade we lived right near our school, so my brother and I would just walk to and from school daily. My parents never worried since my brother walked with me, but one day he stayed back to play basketball with his friends. I however wanted to go back home cause I was really tired since we had a field day. I begged him to go home with me for about 10 minutes until I decided I would just walk home myself. I knew the path and it wasn't a far walk at all. I just started walking. I didn't even tell him I was going. About a minute in, a small white car, which I think was a Toyota, pulled up next to me and asked if I needed a ride. I said I was walking back to my house and I lived close, so there was no need. He told me that it was dangerous for a girl like me to walk alone at night and said it'd be safer if I just rode the rest of the way with him. He somehow made sense to me even though it was probably only 4 o'clock. I started to walk closer to the car and grabbed the handle to open.
One time at lunch, my best friend wanted to make out with a boy in the bathroom and asked me to take the second girl's pass so that nobody could come to the bathrooms, and the boy's friend did the same. Then we all went to the bathroom and my friend went into the boy's bathroom. So I left her there and she said she would be back in 10 minutes. After 10 minutes I went back to the bathroom and she was still in there, so I thought she was going to get raped, so I burst in and saw my friend crying. I grabbed her arm and tried to drag her out, but then a teacher came in and detained us all as if it was a motherfucking crime scene. They told us to give them our phones and I got to go to the office and the teacher questioned me like it was a Q&A, like bitch fuck off. Then she let me go and back to class and I started having a panic attack.
One time when I was at a friend's house, we were prank calling and we decided to call our local strip club. We called them and asked them what you have to do to become a stripper, and she told us the requirements and pay and more. She asked if we were 18 or older and we said we were 17 about to turn 18. At this point she was telling us to come in and do an interview. We eventually told her we were kids and she hung up and we got a call from a different number. It was her mobile phone and she had our address and our parents' number. We were scared so we hung up, but my friend was terrified that she would call her parents and her parents were strict. We blocked both numbers and went to bed.
When I was in 6th grade I had a huge crush on this boy and I asked him to the Halloween dance and he said no. I was really upset and my friend wanted to cheer me up. So at the dance she went up to him and asked if he wanted a slushie. He said yes and she said she would buy it for him. So she bought the slushie and went up to him. Before he could reach out to grab it, she grabbed the waist of his pants and poured the slushie down into his underwear. He was so embarrassed and started crying. A few months later he transferred schools. 7th grade we had this racist, homophobic white teacher. The first day of school she had a Donald Trump banner on the wall. Over the months we wrote ripped and cut that shit up. She also cried like a little bitch and told us why were we ruining her shit. One day, my friend was talking to her friend and she was like, yeah, I'm gay. My homophobic racist ass teacher was like, no you're not. My friend was like, yes I am. The teacher kept giving her reasons why being gay was bad. She also told us that she used to teach little kids how to swim. She told us she used to take them to the deep end and stick their head underwater so no one could hear their screams. Like bitch WTF. After that we decided to get back at her. We locked her outside of the classroom, we broke the sink door, we broke her mirror, we wet her chair, we cheated on every test she gave us. She would cry every day.